Hello and good day, ladies. I am here today to share with you a very little known fact. And that little known fact is that you can actually wear 4 different types of foundation on your face all at once, all in the same day. Now, do we ever want to do that? No, no way. Do we want to invest in 4 different foundations in a given time period to put on your face every day? No. Do you want to go through all the different application processes that different foundations require in a given day? No. No. That's what we're going to do today. But I'm not doing that to show you can wear 4 different foundations, because surely you could if you chose to. But the reason I am going to do it is because I want to touch on a topic that is a well-known fact that we've probably all experienced at some point in our makeup routines over the years as we've gone and tried to find the perfect foundation, right? So a lot of times we'll go and buy a certain foundation. We think it's going to be good. It's the right color, looks like the right consistency, and you know what? It's just not. Then we go back to the store, we find something else. We've all made that investment over time trying to find the perfect foundation for ourselves, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we ever put on foundation, one of the best tips I can ever give you is that you need to use a primer. This is our Touch Glorious primer. That's a product offered through Younique, but there are primers out there from all different makers. Primer is key. It's critical to make sure that you're caring for your face. I mean, you go through your skincare routine, you wash your face, you moisturize your face, you do all the things you're supposed to do, and then you just go and plop makeup on your face. And that makeup gets into the pores. That makeup creates breakouts. It clogs your pores. It leads to bad skin health. And trust me, this is a lesson I've learned over time. So a primer is key, because when you put the primer on your face, it literally is what is getting into your pores and keeping everything else out. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I wear primer every day, whether I'm going to put on makeup or not. If I'm going to go out in the yard and work on my property, if I'm going to be around the house cleaning the house, if I'm just going out to the beach and I don't want to put any makeup on whatsoever, I will always put primer on. Why? Because when we're outside working, we're inside working, we're in the dust, we're in the sand, we're out at the beach, there are all these elements in the air and in the ground, and you touch them, you touch your face, and that stuff gets in your pores and is just as bad as getting makeup or anything else in your pores. So you want to put a primer on to add that layer of protection between your face and your makeup, and or your face and any of the elements you're exposed to, any of the things you touch through the day and then end up touching your face. Primer is key to keeping your skin very healthy and keeping those things from adversely affecting your skin. So I have put on our Touch Glorious primer. I always do this, again, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. So I'm going to demonstrate 4 of our foundations today in an attempt to help you make a better educated decision when you go out and purchase foundation, regardless of where you purchase it from. So I'm going to use 4 different foundations that we have today. That is our pressed cream foundation, very much like the pancake makeup that used to be available at large. I'm going to use our pressed powder foundation, which is just simply powder. It can be used as a powder over any foundation choice that you make, or by itself, just with the Glorious primer as a base. I'm going to talk about the Flawless, BB Flawless, and I'm going to talk about what we call our Liquid Gold, which is our Touch Liquid to Powder foundation. So a lot of other things you need to take into consideration when you're looking at a foundation is not just what type of skin you have, but also what time of year it is, and several other elements that we'll talk about as we go through here. But it's really, really important to understand the differences so you find a foundation that's really suited to you and that will give you what you want out of the product. And what I want out of the product is a nice, even complexion. I want to even out the red spots that I have. I want to cover up any flaws that I have. And I want it to last all day. I don't want to keep reapplying my foundation throughout the day because it's faded or it's swiped off or it's melted off. So there are a lot of considerations to take into, or a lot of things to take into consideration. So I'm going to start with our pressed cream foundation. For those of you who've been around a while, you know we used to call this pancake foundation. It's just simply a pressed cream foundation. Comes with a lovely little application sponge, and that's typically how you put it on. And this is going to be the foundation you would want if you want very opaque coverage. In other words, you don't want to see any flaws whatsoever. A little thicker than most foundations. It's definitely not liquid foundation, which a lot of us love. And it's not one that you're going to want to use if your skin is really oily or it's hot and you're going to be exposed to the heat, because this is a little bit of a thicker foundation, gives you a great coverage, and it is a perfect foundation for the winter time when your skin is not as oily, if you're prone to oily skin, and you're not going to be in the heat, because quite frankly, because it's a cream foundation, when you get hot and you start to sweat, and I know we all hate sweating, but it's a fact of life, it's going to not feel as good. So it's a beautiful, opaque cream foundation that will cover up the flaws, and it's great for winter, and it's great for a little bit drier skin. You can still have combination skin, you can still have that oily to dry, and it still will give you a good coverage, just not in the summertime. So make sure that this is going to be your winter wear, and that you want that nice opaque coverage if you're going to use the pressed cream foundation. So the other option is our pressed powder foundation. Actually, I'm going to save this one to last, and there's a reason for that. So hold on. The next one I actually want to focus on is our BB Flawless. Now this is a great light foundation for anyone who has really nice skin, meaning no flaws, not a lot to cover up because it's more translucent, because it's much lighter. If you want to have more opaque coverage, you're definitely going to have to use a powder over top. But again, use a loose mineral powder or use our pressed powder foundation on top. It's beautiful. It's lightweight. This will give you that dewy complexion. For those that are much drier, have much drier skin, this is the perfect hydrating foundation for that. So it's like typical BB cream. It's very super light. I'm going to put it on one of our blending buds, which is one of the best ways to apply this foundation. And I'm just going to tap it into the skin. Now it's not completely sheer. It will give you a good amount of coverage. And it's very easy to apply. This little tapping motion is all you need. It goes on very smoothly. And it's just wet, hydrating, refreshing foundation. I love, love, love to wear this foundation any time of the year. In the summer, it's great for hydrating your skin, especially if you're in the sun a lot. It's super great for hydrating your skin. And in the winter, when your skin gets really dry, especially when it's cold and it's windy, and your lips are chapping, and your skin is just like, oh my gosh, I can't take one more bit of this dryness, this will give your skin back the moisture that it needs. And it gives you a beautiful bit of coverage. Now, I said it's more translucent, which means it's not thick. It's not going to give you as much coverage as your cream foundation or the liquid to powder foundation. As you'll see, you can still see a really bad flaw that I have going on right now. But we're going to take care of that shortly. So that's the cream foundation. You notice it gives you a really dewy, moist look. And it's a look I love. Now we're going to look at the liquid to powder foundation. This is the one we call liquid to gold, or liquid gold, I should say. But it's the liquid to powder foundation, and it's perfect for any skin type. Whether you have dry skin, whether you have oily skin, whether you have combination skin, this is perfect, and it is one less step than any foundation you will use, because it literally goes on like a liquid and dries to a powder. So you need no powder above and beyond, just the foundation itself. This is our biggest seller, and it's that way for a reason, because people just love the simplicity of it. I've placed it on our foundation brush, just a few drops, and all I'm gonna do, it's probably too much for just one little part of my face, all I'm gonna do is just paint it on. And it looks wet to begin with, and it somewhat is, but it will dry to a gorgeous powder finish. Not cakey, super light, easy to wear, easy to apply, and will literally last you, just going down my neck, because by the way, when you're doing foundation, you should always make sure you're blending with your neck. And I have an excessive amount on this brush, so we're gonna use up the product. All right, so you guys, we have 3 different foundations on my face. Can you really honestly tell the difference in them? That's what I found with Younique products. They're very, very, very similar. They blend very well together. If you want to combine them, you absolutely can for different purposes, and in a later video I'll show you how to do that and why you would do that. But gorgeous coverage, very opaque coverage from all of these different types, with the exception of the BB cream, which is more translucent. But now I'm going to show you the 4th option, which is our pressed powder. You can, on a day when you wake up late, or when you're in a rush, or you just want to carry this thing around with you, as long as you put your Glorious Primer on first, you can use this as your only foundation. And you can put this on your face with just the Glorious Primer and get the same exact coverage. So if I wanted to do that, I would just take my powder brush, or you can just take a pad like this and just press it in. It does come with its own pad. I prefer the powder brush. Don't have it in here with me at the moment, but it literally gives you a beautiful, flawless coverage over top of BB cream, over top of your cream pressed foundation. And again, remember, I don't need it on this side because I have the liquid to powder. But gorgeous, gorgeous coverage from all 4 of these foundations. Quick, simple, easy peasy, no matter which way you go. But depending on what you want to do, what you want your face to look like, what kind of skin type you have, the elements that you're exposed to, be it winter, summer, spring, whatever, and the coverage that you want for the longest duration is the type of foundation you're going to choose. Again, pressed cream foundation is excellent for very opaque coverage, covering up all those flaws, a little heavier than most other liquid foundations, but it gives you a beautiful coverage. I would say best for any season except the really hot part of summer. Pressed powder on its own with Glorious Primer, or on top of a BB cream or a cream foundation, perfect coverage. BB, if you need the hydration, if you need to hydrate your skin, this is the choice you want to go with, is any BB cream. And if you want a coverage that you can count on any time of year with any type of skin, the Liquid Gold Liquid to Powder Foundation is the best for you. So hopefully this has helped you guys today. And again, don't have to wear 4 different foundations ever. Unnecessary. But I wanted to show you this because it's something that most of us struggle with in terms of choosing the best foundation for us and what we want to achieve with our foundation. Anyway, have a great day, ladies. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.